Hey everybody, we're back with Skies of Arcadia for the Tuesday night stream. We're playing video games. Let's play video games. Video games, everybody, video games. Hey Bane, how you doing tonight? Alright, let's go to the... This is a room. You wanna join my crew? Okay. Alright, let's go through the Dark Rift. Let's take my little boat. No messing around today, we're getting right into it. Over there. Okay, we were told if we go in at like an edge that it'd work. That we might be able to get through. Like around there, that looks weaker. Don't abuse the quote system, Bane. Okay, we were told last time there are like pockets in the Dark Rift that aren't as strong, but we might be able to get through. Is that purple? Thunderbird. Okay, see how that works out.
Fire consume my enemies! Plant it first!
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a Demolition Man quote. Not too bad. Not too bad. I was not paying attention a minute ago. Kill it. Oh, should be good. Skies of Arcadia is going to be the longest stream we've done. Like, there's no doubt about that.
Let us be thankful for our safety.
Like, you forget just how expansive this game is. Okay, health. Everybody is fine, I guess. I think the main thing, I've said recently, like, games that are really long, like these 80, 100-hour games, aren't really great anymore for us. But, you know, a game that lasts 80 hours but keeps you riveted through the entire thing is a good thing. The issue is so many of them don't. And we've not really done much grinding yet. We'll have to do grinding, we'll need that. Certainly for the final boss. So far it's been mostly a pretty straight line with a little bit of deviation. And it's been pretty entertaining, for me at least. And I like that. Like, we're on session 7 now. By session 7 of Dark Souls 2, I was tired of it.
That was easy.
Yeah, that's definitely a weakness of the Dark Souls series. I think the first Dark Souls does better than 2 and 3. For pushing you for the most part in a straight line. Okay, so the Dark Rift goes along here. Yeah, for the most part, it pushes you along a straight line. There, that's got to be what we're after. Dark Souls 2 had the immediate weakness of teleporting everywhere and going one of 4 directions. And it sounds like a nice idea, but it doesn't work out that well. I mean, hell, the first Dark Souls really... The first Dark Souls becomes a lot weaker once you get the ability to teleport to bonfires. And I think Dark Souls 2 giving you the ability to do it from the start is a problem. Come on, do the lander burst. No, that's not good. Yeah. Dark Souls 3, I know, is more area focused, like Demon's Souls was. Where rather than going through progression, you go through an area and then back to the hub and then back to another, go to another area. Yeah, that brings up the point again that I've heard that Dark Souls 3 feels difficult just for the sake of playing off the reputation the series has. And I'll be honest, I am way less interested in getting to Dark Souls 3 than I am Demon's Souls or Bloodborne. I feel like one of these will be something. But let's stop wasting time. That's got to be what we're after. I like that they make it nice and obvious. Now I remember the Dark Rift. Look at that save point. The ship. That is crazy. The first time this has happened. Because this is a dungeon for the ship. There's the exit. And that takes us further in. I remember when I did this when I was a kid. And it's an interesting location. That doesn't sound fun. That doesn't sound fun at all. Okay, 2 purples and a green. See how this works. Alright. Yeah, I think a story can be a good thing. I've said before, like, a story can be what drags me through a game that I'd otherwise be bored of.
An utter victory.
Or at least some sense of progression, I guess, with Dark Souls. Interesting. It's the difference I found between Dark Souls 1 and 2. With Dark Souls 1 pushing you towards a specific goal very early on, it felt like the goal I was going for... was always something I could get to. Whereas in Dark Souls 2, it felt like the goal was just some nebulous thing. Dark Souls 1 starts you off and it's like, oh hey, ring 2 bells. One's above, one's below in Blighttown. And it works. And then you ring the 2 bells and Sen's Fortress opens up, which you should know the location of, because walking around the entire place on foot makes you remember it. Nebulous. My word of the day. What is word of the day? What is that as a thing? It's a weird idea to have a thing that's like, you use this word today. It's like, what? You know, like Sen's Fortress, which you should know the location of because you run around laundering on foot. You learn where everything is as you explore, whereas in Dark Souls 2 it was the teleport from here to here to here. Which is part of the reason why I forgot so much. I forgot where so many things were because I went past them once and then teleported between points after that. This is a fascinating area. Music conveys a sense of mysteriousness. It isn't just dull flying through clouds. I like that. A black moonstone, what? This rare black moonstone holds tremendous power. It can turn positive energy into negative and vice versa. A practical application for this ability has not been found. There are rumours of a lost black moon, but the truth remains unknown. Stuff like this makes me really love lore. Let's see if one of these others is also a discoverer. No, they're not. This is an interesting idea. The idea of a dungeon for the ship. What's this? Discord. Yeah, I feel like that's always been a problem the series has had. There's not enough explanation for a lot of stuff. Like the basic mechanics. I feel like a lot of the basic mechanics are not explained. Yeah, like we get back to Dark Souls 1 and it's a case of Sen's Fortress is open. Get through Sen's Fortress, because the goal has to be beyond there. And then you get through Sen's Fortress and you're in Anor Londo, and at that point it's explore. It looks big, but it's not as big as you think it is. It pushes you towards a specific goal, and then once you've gotten through there, you're given your ultimate objective. And given the Lord Vessel that allows you to teleport, and that's when the game starts to fall off a bit, but you've already sunk a load of time in at that point, and you might as well go further. Dark Souls 2, meanwhile, was like 4 great souls, various directions, off you go. And it just didn't work as well. Alright, we're still good for health. Did I accidentally make it to the other side really quickly? Oh, I guess not. You know what? I like that it tells me that. Transwarp conduit. Honestly, I love the idea of this. There's a reason Skies of Arcadia is so well loved. Because it does such good stuff. Well, I've said before, I don't know if I've ever said it on a stream, but like, if you're into RPGs, really good video to check out. Pro Jared did a video, top 10 JRPGs not by Square or Enix. And there's some really good, interesting stuff on there, like Wild Arms. I think Shadow Hearts is probably on there. Skies of Arcadia is number 2, and number 1 is Suikoden 2. And it's good stuff. It's worth looking at to see more RPGs not done by Square. Because it is kind of a shame that they, even now, they kind of hold the corner. They've kind of cornered the market on JRPGs. A lot of the big JRPGs anybody will ever think of, old or more recent, are from either Square Enix or Square Enix. It's just because they're the big names. I love this. It's good characters, a fascinating world with some really interesting lore to it. A plot that regularly moves forward. Interesting enemies. Don't be poisoned, gah. There's so much this game does right. And it's kind of crazy Sega didn't take this and run with it as a series.
We are victorious.
Or like try a sequel that wouldn't have been as good. You know, I have seen him. I ran across him completely by chance, and I'll agree, he does good stuff. Good videos and reviews on JRPGs. He does Let's Plays as well, but committing to a Let's Play is difficult enough as it is, without committing to a JRPG Let's Play like him. Plus, the main one I saw he was doing at the time was a game I want to get around to at some point that I've not actually done for myself, Dragon Quest III on Super Famicom. I started that up and tried it out, and it was really interesting. I just haven't played it properly. Yeah, I watched a bunch of his videos, like the some of the worst dungeons in RPGs, which was a fascinating video. Because let's be fair, there are dungeons we all hate. In every RPG, there's a dungeon we hate. That's not good. Take him down. Nice. I've said about this game before. Like, it's really good, but it feels really slow. Like, particularly like the movement feels really slow, and I feel like that's it's worst on Shrine Island, back at the start of the game. And I feel like once you get past Shrine Island, make your way to Valua, and if you push yourself through Valua, not only does the story really pick up as the plot kicks in, that's not going to be what we want. Like, you'll have completely forgotten about the game being kind of slow. I'm going to get to Shadow Hearts. I'm going to get to Shadow Hearts at some point. The only thing I need to decide with Shadow Hearts is, am I going to do Kudelka first? But now, Shadow Hearts is a series I do want to get to. Heard so many things about it. I also want to do the, actually do a mainline Shin Megami Tensei game for the stream at some point. And I'd love to do Lucifer's Call or Nocturne, like, all the way through, but... That'll be a long game. There'll be a lot of game overs there. There'll be a lot of grinding. It's not a friendly game. It's... I suppose the best way to describe Shin Megami Tensei Lucifer's Call is it's a game that I wish they would re-release with some more accessibility features.
Is it overall?
Because it's a great game. Fantastic ideas, fantastic atmosphere, story. Love the demon designs and everything. Oh my god, is that game hard to play these days. It's hard to play at the time. Yeah. It's one of those things, like, I played, This place is fucking with me. I played Final Fantasy 13 for the context with Final Fantasy 13-2. Why not go through Kudelka? It's a shame Overworks never did anything else with after Skies of Arcadia. But I love Skies of Arcadia, and the talk of a sequel or a revival is all well and good. I don't think this game could really do a sequel, and that'll become kind of apparent when we get to the end of it. I feel like it'd be kind of a case of when Final Fantasy IV got a sequel, and it was the after years, and it's like, what did it really add? But it's kind of a shame Overworks never did another RPG like this. Let me see what Overworks did after this. Not much. I feel like the only thing of interest that they went on to do is Nightshade for the PS2, which was a spin-off of sorts to the PS2 reboot of Shinobi. Epsilon Mirror. There we go. You know, I played Kudelka for like 10 minutes once, and I feel like I remember the battle system that you're talking about. I think Radiant Historia used something similar. Yeah, no, Overworks didn't do anything else before they were merged into Sega Research and Development, or whatever they call it. The most interesting thing being Nightshade on PS2. Yeah, everybody's about fine for now. It's a shame we didn't get anything else like this from them. Another world, another idea. Okay, so we went that way. There's 2 routes over there. Try this route. It sounds a lot more strategic than what Radiant Historia had. Radiant Historia had a grid system, but I don't think you could surround your enemy with it. Although you did have to take the grid into account with the way you would attack. You could push enemies onto the same square, and then anybody who would attack in that square would attack every enemy on the square, rather than just a single enemy. But no, like, there's a bunch of stuff I want to get to at some point. The main issue is that we only stream like 3 hours. We aim for like 3 hours per stream, 3 nights a week. I'd love to stream more, but I'm very aware of the burnout for that. Not every game is going to hold my interest like Skies of Arcadia is. How are we doing for health? It's still fine. Yeah, I think we're going the right way. This is fire, right? Ground explode. There is no earth element in this game.
Fire consume my enemies! Let them burn!
Nexus. That's not Etrian Odyssey 5. I didn't follow Nexus. I forget what it is. Give me a minute. It is a 3DS game. And Wikipedia has basically nothing on it. Nexus, the only thing they've got in it is crossover between a bunch of the games in the series. Interesting idea. It's like I said, it was last time. Persona Q. We were talking about 3DS games. Oh, this is interesting. Hello. Persona Q. I didn't enjoy the story or the characters that much, but I enjoyed the gameplay. I ended up quitting the game and just playing Etrian Odyssey because I was enjoying the gameplay. Oh, we found Polly's husband. What a happy ending. I'm not sure if Nexus has any particular features that are exclusive to it over the rest of the series. I'd say, like, look into it. And if it doesn't, pick up Etrian Odyssey Untold or Etrian Odyssey 4. Maybe 5, I don't know. Sailor. Like, you know, if there's nothing particularly special about Nexus that would appeal to somebody who hasn't played the series before, it sounds like it's crossover between all the different games, but if you haven't played the games before, you don't know the character, it means nothing. Pick up 4 or something. I enjoyed Etrian Odyssey. The map drawing stuff was weirdly compelling. Oh, if only I could rest here. That'd be a good idea. Yeah, the map drawing stuff was weirdly compelling. And like I say, they had it in Persona Q, which was Etrian Odyssey with Persona characters and stuff. But the characterization for them was terrible, so I just went with Etrian Odyssey instead. Came from that direction. Is there any other route here? Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's a dead end specifically to find that guy. Yeah, I could do more sacrum crystals. But yeah, no, I enjoyed Etrian Odyssey Untold. Haven't really gotten around to any of the others. Oh.
Fire consume my enemies! Land to burn!
It's one of those things like Persona. With Persona 3, 4, and 5, it's a dungeon crawler, but it has an element that ties around that. In Persona, it's the social simulation and the decent story of it all. And social simulation works to improve the dungeon crawling because it makes you stronger. And it works, whereas in Etrian Odyssey, the focus is on drawing the maps and make them as detailed as you want. And it's a weirdly compelling feature, and I like it. And they're supposed to be doing, I think they're supposed to be doing one for the Switch, and I don't know how it's going to work. It's a series that's basically built for the DS. The first game was a DS game, the first 3 games were DS games. And they worked because you could have the game going on the top screen while you drew the map on the bottom screen. And I don't know how it could work on anything else without essentially emulating the DS's features, splitting the screen into 2 to do something. Okay, let's see. The question is, which of these did we go through? The one on the left is pulsating in a different colour. I'm going to take this one. But I enjoyed Etrian Odyssey Untold. It was a lot of fun. The combat's decent, there's a good amount of strategy to it. The story focus was good. The classic mode they kept in, which let you build your own party like you could in the original Etrian Odyssey, was good. Probably added replay value. The Millennium Girl story they added in Untold was pretty decent. Yes, the number went up. Didn't get a notification about it or anything. The way it works is if somebody subscribes to the channel and their subscriptions are private, I don't get to see who subscribed to the channel. I also don't get a notification that somebody subscribed to the channel.
Is it over already?
The only way I know is if I notice the number has gone up. That reminds me, the fourth part of Spider-Man 2 went up today, Enter Electro. Yeah, that seems to have been the right way. What is this? That's another wrecked ship down there. Yeah, I think it was the Hammerhead fight today, in today's part. Which... These enemies seem to be quicker than I am. That's not great. See how this goes. That's not good. There's 1,000 for everybody. And multiple couldn't do it. Great. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro was shorter than I remembered it being. It was an interesting thing. We're gonna do Final Fantasy VIII. The main reason we've not done Final Fantasy VIII in a little while is because I've really gotten into this again. And I wanted to keep the momentum going. And I don't really have a problem with 8, I just wanted to play more Skies of Arcadia. That's really it. I've been after going back to this for years, and it's really not disappointed. Which is good, because we've had a bit of a spoiler warning. We've had the issue with a few of the LPs recently of going back to games that I used to love as a kid, and they don't hold up. And this really has, and I'm really enjoying that. Okay, we definitely got enough for somebody to get a new move. Alright. Defensive barrier for 1 turn, all physical damage cut in half. But no, we'll be back to Final Fantasy VIII. And I think after that, we'll be taking a break from RPGs for a while. So, the plan at the minute is Skies of Arcadia and Final Fantasy VIII, and then the Castlevania Marathon. Which could go on for a while. I've got a list of games that I want to do in this series. Specific games I want to do. For some of them, specific ways I want to do them. Blue. Blue. There it goes. Yeah, specific ways I want to do them. Oh, that worked.
We did it!
That is, it's definitely one of the things with some of the older games. Just how short. This is going to be Civil and Bane, isn't it? How are you here? Like how short a lot of the old stuff was. Even going for like 100%. Small focused areas with very little wasted space. You know, I think that's definitely a comparison with Spyro 3. I think the levels in Spyro 1 are probably bigger. But again, it becomes the case of wasted space. Spyro 1 has a lot of emptiness in its areas. It's like going back to the LP I did, and in some levels there was a bunch of wandering. Whereas Spyro 2, it's been a while since I've gone through Spyro 2, but Spyro 3, the levels are a lot more focused, there's very little wandering to be done. It doesn't waste what it has. And I imagine Spyro 2's very much the same as that.
This should work.
Spyro 3. Yeah. I think part of Spyro 1's problem is that it's kind of too big. See how this goes. You know, that just felt silly.
Here goes!
That's not good. I will admit, as much as I love this game, it has problems, and one of them really is Civilian Bane. The way that it's a difficult combat encounter that shows up with no warning. This could kill us. It's dangerous enough that it can be a real threat. And we're a decent distance from our last save point. There's a bunch of stuff we'd have to redo if we die. Persona 4 definitely has a better thing with that. When you open certain treasure chests, I think it gives you a warning if the Reaper is going to be in there. And the Reaper is optional super boss that can turn up at random. And it lets you know that it's coming. Oh, you motherfucker.
Thank the moons.
But it's way too easy to just stumble across Civilian Bane. Like we basically have done every time. Okay. This seems like the only way forward. Alright, this, I think, is around the midway point of this dungeon. That's gotta be a boss. Now let's go do this. And ship-to-ship combat. Either full open shots or one good shot with the Moonstone Cannon. We haven't healed from our fight with Gregorio. This could be nasty. But yeah, there's a bunch of Castlevania stuff I want to do for the marathon. Specific ways I want to do some of it. And the Anniversary Collection seems like a good way for a bunch of it. The problem is the screen options on that are kind of busted. Like the 4x3 option, for some reason displays at pixel perfect, and then pixel perfect displays at pixel perfect, and you end up with a much smaller screen to view. And I don't like that. If you want the actual 4x3 size, you have to go with the scan lines then. I don't like scan lines. Even with guarding, that was pretty damaging. This could be nasty. I have a bad feeling about this move. Getting close. This has become a problem. Mostly just feeling it out right now. Got some interesting stuff coming up for the Let's Play channel though, while nothing's really going on in the game. After Ocarina of Time finishes, we're actually going to do a more recent game than anything we've ever covered. A game from last year, which should be interesting. Speaking of games that came out last year, I want to do Katana Zero at some point. That was really good. Oof. Alright, what do we got? Two guards. Yeah, there's that. I've got a bunch of stuff in the works. We're recording more than one game in a minute. I need to get back around to Brawl, because I do want to finish Brawl. And like, as far as the stream goes, want to get back to Deadly Premonition at some point. Probably not the 360 version. Since I set the PS3 up again, we got the Director's Cut as an option. And I remember the Director's Cut playing better than the Xbox version did. Ah, boy. Hey, Clem. How you doing, buddy? God. I want to heal here. I want torpedo to land here. Adulting after school, huh? Adulting after dark. Oh, that sounds fun. Ugh, loans. Adultery after school. I never engaged in adultery, because I've never been married. But there was that one time things got kind of complicated. Technically, you haven't. Alright, stay put. Moonstone cannon, fire! God damn! And then let's get some heals. Yeah, I know what that's like. It ain't good picture. Alright, let's see what kind of damage we're gonna do with this. I'm finally able to use it. This is gonna take a while. I'm sure since you put that question up, Bane, you figured out how it got complicated. Yeah, these things never do end well. Escapism into games is usually a good idea for that kind of thing. Main reason I've not actually had a proper relationship since, for me. Happened at the wrong time in my life. Kinda messed me up. Oh, is it coming out? Is the dynamic of the fight changing? Alright, let's open fire. Okay, I want a guard and a guard here. Let's see how well this works out. So you want an interesting idea of what point in my life I was playing this at, Bane? When I got to this, first time I did it, I paused it during this boss fight. So, for like half an hour so I could go and watch Chuckle Vision. Because I really enjoyed Chuckle Vision. You know, it was actually a really good move there, doing these repeated cannon shots. It's done a lot of damage. It's going to win this fight way faster than I expected. It really is. It's really one of those cases of, well, at least you're probably not going to get in trouble for skipping school, I guess. Like, it becomes a quid pro quo kind of situation there. Yeah, no, tell me. Punish me for it, and then, you know, maybe somebody finds some things out that they don't want to know. Yeah, Chuckle Vision was great. Like, it's the main thing I remember about doing this dungeon as a kid, that I stopped while I was doing it to watch Chuckle Vision. Because I did this over, like, a summer holiday. When I was younger. Which was great. And Chuckle Vision was always on at like 3. Nice, another hit like that and we'll be in the money. Almost. We won't even need the Moonstone Cannon for the next turn. It's been an interesting fight, but I think I've handled this pretty well. See if we even get to use the Moonstone Cannon. I don't think so. No, that's it, we won. Bada bing. We're gonna make it to Yafutoma today, without a doubt. That was a timing valve. Can't change that equipment. You know, I don't recognise that name. Bodger and Badger. And the 10-inch cannon coil, see what we do with the 12. Why is this weaker? It's worse in every regard. No, I don't remember Bodger and Badger. No, I don't remember it. Where's that save point? There it is. What about you, Clem? Any childhood programs you remember that you'd always put time aside to watch? 1 minute. Oh god, don't send me a link to it, Bane. Come on. Is this gonna take us out, or is this literally like the halfway point? Oh. Oh, the colour of this is definitely different. God damn it, Bane. I'll take a look later. Did we? Because it looks like the same. Well, when I say as a kid, watching Chucklevision, I was like 12, 13. I had a friend who always told me about Dragon Ball Z, but I didn't have any of the channels that Dragon Ball Z would be on. I didn't have Toonami at that point. I don't think it was on anything else. So the anime I got to watch as a kid was Pokemon, Digimon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, while this is happening, let's see what this is. Yeah, I do not remember Bodger and Badger at all. Doesn't ring a bell. You know, I never watched Transformers cartoon as a kid.
That was fun.
I mean, we talk about the cartoons I saw as a kid, and the stuff I loved was like Scooby-Doo. I love the Scooby-Doo stuff. Well, when I say Transformers, I mean like any Transformers, including Beast Wars. Uguisu's nest. Although this bird builds its nest in rock faces, for some reason they always travel northwards to human civilizations to raise their young. That is why sailors have learned to recognize these nests as a sign that human cities nearby. North. That way, through this rift. Like, Beast Wars is different from standard Transformers, but it's still Transformers. We're off. But nah, there's... I was into the Scooby-Doo stuff.
Prepare yourself.
I loved Looney Tunes. Tom and Jerry I was into. Well, like I say, I'd never actually watched any Transformers as a kid. Like, anything to do with it. I was vaguely aware of them as toys. But I never watched them and I never had toys. I never saw Tiny Toons. I think I saw Tiny Toons like once. Actually, that was it. It's never something. It's not something I got to watch regularly. There's like people love Animaniacs, and I think I saw it like a handful of times as a kid. I saw it enough to recognize that's where Pinky and the Brain came from. That's about it. You know, if there's one thing I'll always love, though, about Transformers, like, since seeing the 80s movie, which I saw, like, a few years back, the first time, like, Peter Cullen as Optimus is fantastic. And it's really understandable why they haven't replaced him. Like, they replaced Peter Welker in the movies with Hugo Weaving for some reason, but they didn't replace Peter Welker? Yeah, they didn't replace Peter Cullen. Is it Peter Cullen? Let me check. I'm probably getting names confused here. Yeah, Peter Cullen. Oh no, he's been voiced by other people in various series, but Peter Cullen's voiced him in so damn much. Including Transformers Devastation, which I want to get around to at some point, the Transformers video game. I love just how ballsy that 80s movie is. Where am I? On the other side. Well, I get why the 80s movie is like that. They wanted to get rid of the old toys so they could sell new toys. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, Megatron comes in, it's like, we're gonna kill the Autobots, then Optimus turns up and is like, one shall stand, one shall fall. And it's like, Optimus is serious here. Megatron's like, why throw your life away, Prime? Optimus is like, it's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. And then, bah! Awesome. It's the voice acting that makes the entire thing. like, Orson Welles did not care about that movie at all, but he did a good performance as Unicron. Well, these are interesting ships. Oh, these ships are opening fire on us. You know, Reboot is a good point. I saw a bunch of Reboot. It's a series I've been meaning to go back to at some point and watch all of it, because I never got to watch all of it as a kid. And Tony J as Megabyte was amazing. I was like, you talk about Reboot being scary for a kids program, it was Megabyte that was scary for me. Yeah, I guess we're doing another fight. Launch that there. Fire here. I remember enough of Reboot. I think I had a video cassette with like maybe 2 episodes on it. And like Megabyte was really good. And Hexadecimal was weirdly villainous. I didn't get her as a kid. I didn't get what her deal was. Cool stuff. Damn. There's some good CGI for the time. It's one of the things you really compare with, like, what was the other CGI at the time? Donkey Kong Country. Reboot works within its own aesthetic. Donkey Kong Country looked horrible. Yeah. You know, for a long time I thought I dreamed up the Donkey Kong Country cartoon. For years, I couldn't find any reference to it existing. Then all of a sudden the entire internet seemed to remember it. Yeah, alright, fair enough, Glenn. This battle's probably going to take a while anyway, so I doubt you'll miss anything. I thought like, I'd made Donkey Kong Country cartoon up in my head for years, and all of a sudden the entire internet seems to remember it at once. This is dangerous. They're doing a lot of damage very fast, and we still haven't recovered from that ship. The snake battle. Which is why we are gonna make use of this complete kit. And then focus here and see what we get. Those magic cannons are nasty. I don't remember it from when I was a kid, but I did watch it at one point. Back when I first started my anime kick, which, let's be fair, basically everybody had an anime kick at some point. And I remember it being really disappointing and very inconsistent in its tone. And then I found out at one point that like, most of the series ends without a real ending, and most of the stuff that ties it all up and make sense of all of it was released as a different media, only in Japan. Like novels, manga, something like that, only in Japan. Which seemed really stupid. Welcome back, Clip. We didn't miss anything, we healed up and we're ready to beat people in the face. I'll throw that there, I'm gonna put this here to go there. I'm gonna guard here, and I'm gonna focus here. And if I went back and watched it again, with lowered expectations, I might enjoy it more. But I don't know. It wasn't what I wanted it to be at the time. And that can be a good thing if something subverts your expectations in a good way. But it really didn't. Like I say, the ending more than anything was just a bad taste. A bad taste in the mouth. Okay, let's see, guard, torpedo, and the heavy cannon, the advanced heavy cannon. Speaking of anime though, I want to get to a Digimon game for the stream. I enjoy Digimon. Like, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth came out after like a massive drought in Digimon games in the West. Kept putting them out in Japan and they were good games, but you know, the Digimon games weren't selling in the West because the games they kept giving us were the garbage ones. This Cyber Sleuth finally comes out and it's really solid. I really enjoyed it and I want to get to Next Order at some point. Bring back that classic Digimon world feeling. Yeah, this one's going to be a boss. Okay, why are we just letting them board us? Why are we just letting them board us? Yeah, this is one of the advantages to having a crew. The Delphinus doesn't feel so empty, on top of the advantages you get in battle. Why don't we just shoot at them? Like, they can't get close enough to board us if we're shooting at them. I feel like it's such an obvious solution. But yeah, Digimon. Digital monsters. Digimon are the champions. Well, nobody's up here. Get down the ladder, Vice. There we go. I need to learn my way around this ship. Alright, I think this is the dining hall. Yeah. Okay, who's down here? There's Osmond. Every now and then I feel like we should kick her out overboard. Weird how there doesn't seem to be a manual save point on our ship. I mean, maybe Final Fantasy's just ruined my expectations, but I feel like we should have a manual save point. Something like this. Get off my boat. We are the brothers Para and Dox. Seriously? Well, it's the case of if we die here, we have to go back and do that last ship battle again. Not Bimmy and Jimmy.
It is time for you to die.
That was nasty.
Over there.
Not as much health as I would have expected, probably because they're a dual boss. But that also suggests there's gonna be some kind of dual attack. That's gonna be a problem. But seriously, if you're gonna have twins that are finishing each other's sentences, there's no way I'm not thinking of those twins out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, did a Lunar Blessing, I'm left with 6. Let's see how well this goes.
May righteousness be our shield. Shield of justice.
Remember when Gilda was weirdly cool despite how cheesy he was? Like, Enrique really isn't that.
Let's try this.
Alright, let's do this again. Also, interesting thing I just noticed. Justice Shield affects everybody.
Here goes.
So that's nice.
It is time for you to die.
Oh, come on, be good, be good, be good. Ooh. That's right, smack him in the mouth.
Over there.
Oh, come on, come on. Damn it!
I'm so sorry.
We gotta do the resin crystals again. Wait, when did we get resin crystals? Oh, that's not so bad then.
It is time for you to die.
So I wonder if we take out one, is that going to make the other one tougher? I feel like there's got to be a catch to this.
Take this.
Let's find out. I love it when it plays that victory theme. Let's see how this goes. Well, it doesn't seem like they've got anything else up the sleeves. They hit hard, but that's it, and we can deal with that because they're not hitting hard enough. And kind of underwhelming, actually.
That was a close one.
I need to get some kind of defense for Fina. Oh, they really can go high, can't they? Well, at least we know we're going the right way. Okay, let's go. Was this like... Is this a win? Was this all the Dark Rift? I don't remember if the Dark Rift was actually there. Yeah, it must have been. Look, see? Huh. The Great Wall of Yafutoma. The Yafutoma? Ancient legends speak of Yafutoma as a mythical land to the east, covered in gold and populated by a proud, polite people. Cut off from the world by dangerous currents, it has developed a distinctive culture, first discovered by me. They're all blue. Not Alpha Storm Lambda Burst. Get inside of these enemies and the poison spells. Quick, everybody kick him. Ah.
That was fun.
Tell you what, I'm looking forward to Star Wars month. Is it over here? Where is Yafutoma? It said I discovered it, I don't know where it is. Stuck. Okay, so if we all hit this one. Yeah, it works. Anybody got anything interesting happen recently?
That wasn't so bad.
I pre-ordered sorted the pre-order out for Resident Evil 3 remake, RE3 remake. So we're playing that when it comes out. Just in time for Star Wars month then, in May. There it is. What elegant culture. Well, I've said it before, but the site that I pre-ordered from, I pre-ordered Smash Ultimate and RE2 make there. And they both arrived a day early. So it comes out on Friday the 3rd of April. My hope is that I'll get it Thursday the 2nd. Like I have with all the other stuff that I've pre-ordered there. And then I can stream it on the Thursday as part of my normal stream day. Welcome to Not Japan. Okay. Invaded?
Yeah.
Invaded? Hmm. Well, at least somebody's not trying to stab us. I think wanting to visit Japan is a very common ambition these days. Like, especially in the circles we tend to run in, and find more people who want to go to Japan than not. Oh look, an advisor who... You know what, I don't remember if this guy betrays them, but seriously, look at this guy, he's probably going to betray them. We're here for your sacred relic. The Magasphere. Interesting idea. Yeah. I mean, at one point I wanted to visit Japan for a bunch of different reasons. I think at this point, though, no. I don't think it's for me anymore. There it is. I wonder where this goes. I mean, I suppose visiting Japan ties more into the interest I have in urban landscapes more than natural, I guess. Well, I say I don't think it's for me anymore. If it wasn't so damn hot, I'd be interested in visiting Australia. But I don't do well with heat. And I think on its coolest day, Australia is probably hotter than our hottest day. That's a weird place to develop an interest for Japanese history. You should never feel you have to justify your interests just because they're common interests. Oh, that's actually a plan. Should see about new weapons here. Never actually saw the third Ninja Turtles movie. Didn't really have any interest in it, and it seemed like it was way cheaper than the previous two anyway. This place is projecting Japan so hard, it's kind of unbelievable. How do we get in there? Right, we actually travel by boat, don't we? Well, the good news is it's actually really easy to control, there's no issues with it. Yeah. Every time I think about Resident Evil 3 Remake, I think that it's the only game I'm actually interested in coming out this year. And I completely forget about Cyberpunk and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I've not been showcased in years. I think the First time. I don't remember if it was the first time. But I saw Return of the King there. Lord of the Rings. Return of the King. That was a good movie. Urala. I wonder if that was supposed to be Ulala and it was a mistranslation. Really? I think the Lord of the Rings trilogy is like the single most consistent movie trilogy ever. Like, all three movies are fantastic. And I don't think any other movie trilogy hits that level of quality with all three movies. Now let's get off the tub. Depending on how interested you are in actually watching them, it probably would be worth checking out the extended cuts. The problem, like, I tried to read Lord of the Rings a few times, and it's kind of unfortunate. I find Tolkien's writing style to be incredibly boring. And it's a real shame because I think the world and the lore is amazing. It's super interesting, and I love reading about it. Just not when it's written by Tolkien. Which is kind of really awkward. I'd say just go straight out and watch the movies. Okay. Yeah, no, the movies are fantastic. Alright, what do we got? I take that. Oh, that's definitely true. I tried listening to the audiobook of A Game of Thrones, and I found it to be incredibly boring. And, like, going further through it, there's a lot of wasted space. Like, so much focus on detail for no real reason, it all just drags as a result. Awesome. It's like Game of Thrones is admittedly well written. The world, the characters, the politics of it. Very well written and interesting. The books are way too big. Those books could probably be cut in half and you'd lose nothing. You know, it makes sense that the one that does 10 times the restoration would cost 10 times as much. Yeah. I think Game of Thrones, I think The Song of Ice and Fire, for me at least, is very much the same way as Tolkien's Middle-earth. It's fantastic stuff that's really well written, it's very interesting. I just don't like the writing style. But especially with The Song of Ice and Fire, so much of that can be cut down. The chest there, and the question is, how do I get it? It's like if you go back and read the 5th Harry Potter movie. Read the 5th Harry Potter book. Order of the Phoenix. Right, I know how to do that then. And it's the biggest book, and it's so bloated. There's so much of the book where nothing of interest is happening. It's in desperate need of actual editing. Honestly, it's kind of a shame that the Song of Ice and Fire wasn't finished before the series was. Because the series cut stuff out and took liberties and everything. But adapting from the books was what made the series good. Once they ran out of books to adapt from, it became very apparent very quickly that the actual writers of the series had no idea how to write. But the show is just way more digestible than the books are. And so we end up with the case of, like, so much of the finale, the ending, the build-up to the climax and the actual climax of Game of Thrones is garbage. And it could have been avoided. Really could have. Although there is also the caveat that one reason why I never really tried that hard to get into Game of Thrones, into Song of Ice and Fire, the books, is because I don't want to start them, catch up to them, and then be waiting for the next book. It's like I think the series started and finished, and there was not a book released in that time, which is unbelievable because that's like 10 years, I think. It's unbelievable. And you end up at the point where I don't reread books as much as I used to. Mostly because there's just more books now. More books I have access to. I can be reading other stuff, and I'd rather experience new stuff than go through the old stuff again. And so we end up with a case of, say I did read all these the books in A Song of Ice and Fire, and then the 6th book finally comes out, and I'm going to have forgotten so much because it's been that long. It took that long. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. I like that. That's good. Serpent Torpedo's decent. The range is kind of... Yeah, I'm gonna grab one of these and place the heavy torpedo. Replace the 10-inch cannon coil with the 5-foot cannon. Okay, can we buy 2 of these? Yeah, we can. Awesome. An extra 100 to the attack power should be good. No, I want it to go down. This ought to be interesting. I hope this isn't as bad as the underwater sections in Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, that's what it is. I thought that thing we zoomed in on was a face. I was like, that's horrifying. Blueheim. Was the Blue Gigas, which, going off the previous names, Recumen and Grendel, suggest that every Gigas begins with the name of its colour. Alright, let's definitely save it. Have a quick drink, and then we'll head into the volcano. Alright, let's wait. Is there anything over here? There's just a dude. Alright, let's go. I gotta say though, like with Game of Thrones finishing, the main thing I'm glad of when it ended is that it was over and I wasn't following a currently released TV show anymore. I hate following things season to season. It's something that makes going back to old TV so much more appealing because it's all done. It looks a little slower, but the pace is actually the same. You know, like, sit down and watch anything that's coming out today, or, you know, there's like 9 seasons of X-Files there. Which is more appealing? Hey, Professor. How you doing today, buddy? He caught us as we're entering the water dungeon. Fill the area with water, which... Bloody moonfish up there. And my problem becomes, like, waiting for it. There's a good chance I've lost interest by the time the next stuff's out. It's partly what happened with Rick and Morty for me. That doesn't look like a dangerous weapon.
Fire consume my enemies!
That's good to hear, Professor.
Slam to burst!
Yeah, with like Rick and Morty, I finished season 2, and by the time the 3rd season came out, I kind of lost some interest. But then there was also the fan base of Rick and Morty that just left everything of it with a bad taste in my mouth. I was like, yeah, I'm just not interested in this anymore. And I've still not seen season 3, which is kind of a shame because season 2 ended up on an interesting cliffhanger. But it's one of those things, some things are just better off watched when all of it is done. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender. That show is so much better to watch now, like, with all of it out, than it would have been at the time. It's one of those things where one of the reasons I can confidently say it's like one of the best series I've ever watched. Avatar: The Last Airbender is fantastic. Weekly new episodes is a weird thing these days. With so many different places going with the binge streaming method, releasing episodes weekly feels weird. Especially when it's a series that's exclusive to a streaming service. Like The Mandalorian comes out on Disney Plus and it's 6 episodes released weekly. It's like, what does that actually mean for you? And the answer is, oh well, you know, people can't just sign up for a week trial and watch it all. Of course, at that point, you just wait for it to all be out and then sign up for a week trial, watch it all, and then cancel it. Which is probably what I'm going to do when Disney Plus comes out over here. I'm not paying for another streaming service. Again, I feel like mistakes you see in stuff like last season of Game of Thrones probably wouldn't have been as egregious and irritating if the last season had been released all at once. Like, watching the last season week to week and then seeing it just fall apart becomes worse when you have a week between episodes to really think about what happened in the last episode. It's the same kind of idea as fast-paced comedy. And when fast-paced comedy is done right, it works because you don't get time to think about the joke. I think The League of Gentlemen is a good example of the kind of comedy that works best when you don't get time to think about it. Because League of Gentlemen is a fantastic series. But when you stop and think about it, you realise, you know, this is kind of horrific. But while you're actually sat watching it, it's funny.
Fire consume my enemy!
You got any good examples there, Professor? It's interesting to go back and look at some of the comedy series we had when we were growing up that were popular and well received, and you look back on them and think, why? Yeah, the third series was definitely the weakest. The movie, I feel like a big problem with the movie is it was overlong. Really, you'd say Lucifer's a comedy series? The movie was too long for what its idea was. Its idea did not stretch out a full movie. And the main characters were characters that I never liked in the series. It's like you go back and look at some of the very well received series of our youth. Like, at the time, everybody loved Little Britain. Go back and watch it now, and if you don't think Little Britain is cringy and unfunny, then it's kind of weird. But that series won BAFTAs. No idea why. Californication, though, Professor. I've heard good things about the series and I've just never watched it. I've not watched any of the Red Dwarf stuff past Back to Earth. I heard the stuff after Back to Earth was better than Back to Earth. I heard Back to Earth was better as a one-off special rather than the three-parter that it was originally shown as. I heard though when they cut it down into one, like 40-minute special or something. I heard it flowed a lot better. They cut out a lot of the fluff, and it just worked better. It's an interesting case though. Like we talk about Little Britain, and then move on to something like the Catherine Tate Show, which was also a very popular sketch show. And part of the problem I see in going back to them is there's not really a joke there. Almost every sketch they do is waiting for a character to deliver a catchphrase. And that gets tedious really quickly. It's like, meanwhile, you go back to some of my favourite sketch shows that have held up over time, like Pat Mitchell and Webhook is a fantastic sketch series. They had recurring characters, they never had recurring catchphrases. People loved Catherine Tate people loved the Catherine Tate Show at the time. It was absurdly popular. And the question does become, like, why? It was all catchphrases. Yeah, it'll do. What else you got? The Whitest Kids You Know is an entertaining sketch series. It's kind of weird. It borders a lot of the time. It borders, like, walks along a very thin line between funny and tasteless. And there's quite a few sketches that feel like they're not funny, but then the punchline hits, and the entire sketch has been a setup for the punchline, and the punchline's actually really funny. It was probably a good thing they stopped after like 5 seasons. I've never watched The British Office, and I suppose I've never really had any interest in actually doing it. I sat down and watched some of the first season of The Office and stopped. The US Office and stopped. I've heard it gets better, and I've seen clips that show that it does get funnier. But I had no interest in watching the whole romance of Jim and Pam as like a main feature.
An utter victory.
I feel like Parks and Rec did that kind of thing way better. It becomes kind of a thing similar to like Friends gets a lot of flack these days of like, oh, Friends was never funny. Why do people love Friends so much? It's like Friends has its moments, but the biggest thing that prevents me from going back and actually watching it properly is the Ross and Rachel thing. It takes up so much time. And I dislike pointless romances. And there's the interesting contrast in Friends itself. The Ross and Rachel thing is just awful pretty much the entire time. But then there's the Chandler and Monica thing, which I thought was good. I liked that, it was good. That was a romance plot done right. It wasn't cringy, it wasn't drawn out, it wasn't irritating. They had problems, they worked through them, became a married couple, and they were great together.
Is it over already?
I want to talk overrated sitcoms, though. Did anybody ever actually love Raymond? Like, that show feels like it had way longer a run than it ever should have. Also, I'm just wandering at this point. I have no idea what I'm doing. Everybody Loves Raymond's one of those series that it's like you've got you got Freeview. You're up at like 6:30 in the morning. You want something on TV while you're getting ready to go out and do shit. School, college, work, whatever. And a bunch of the channels you'd usually watch don't start until like 9 AM or later. It's like, why? And then Channel 4 showing sitcoms in the morning. And somebody in the house actually just shoves it on and won't let you turn it over. Which is the main reason for my exposure to Everybody Loves Raymond. Like, ugh. remember when we were talking about Reboot earlier and how much better it was than Everybody Loves Raymond? Hit him back. Hit him back. Hit him back. Ika's new boomerang looks ridiculous. Okay, so we're back in the room we were in before. One of these has to lead to something we want. Is it this one? This is a trial and error room, there's no doubt about it. Nope. Okay, that's the exit. God, perspective's kind of confusing here. You know what? I've still been in worse dungeons. I imagine it's worse on Dreamcast with the higher encounter rate. What about this one? Nope. I feel like an oxygen meter wouldn't work for this kind of game. If they had an oxygen meter in this kind of game, it'd be one of those things where it'd either run out and you'd be dragged back to somewhere way earlier in the temple, or it'd run out and you'd instantly die, and both of those ideas are awful. You don't remember this dungeon then, Professor? I mean, I remember it existed. I don't remember the layout of the dungeon or how it works or what the boss is. Really, Dino Crisis 2? I mean, I know there's that underwater section in Dino Crisis 2, but that's a weird thing to compare it with. Like, to get an idea of. We should do Dino Crisis 2 for a fun stream at some point. Maybe it's like a cooldown between the RPGs and the Castlevania marathon we're gonna do. That said, we do have Jackbox Party Pack 2 that we could play. I was watching footage of Jackbox Party Pack 6 earlier today, and they've got some really fun looking games on there that I really want to mess with. Okay, so I've done both of these. I did one of those. That's fair enough, man. My memory card of the time does not have the completed Skies of Arcadia save data anymore. Yeah, I think I did. I don't think I played that far into it. Part of the issue with Dino Crisis 2 is it starts strong, but I kind of lose interest. Like maybe an hour in. Because it's all the one mechanic of shooting dinosaurs to get points. It's a game that begs to be played in short spurts. We don't stream in short spurts. And if I'm playing something like that, I'm often not going back to it. Now, my memory card that had my save data of this on does not have the save data anymore. Because GameCube memory card space was always at a premium. Oh, there we go, finally. What did this get me? That's my objective. I remember where I came from. No, you're totally right, Professor. It is very Arcadia. And it works. I feel like it works mostly in comparison with the first game. Dino Crisis 2's problem is that it's repetitive. But it mixes up enemies, environments, objectives often enough that it is something you can get through without too much trouble if you want to push through it past the initial repetition. Dino Crisis 1 is boring. And there's way too much in that game spent wondering where you're supposed to be going and what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm probably never going to actually do Dino Crisis 1. I feel like after we're done with Skies of Arcadia and Final Fantasy VIII, it's going to be a while before we do an RPG again. But that said, I want to get Persona 5 done.
We are victorious.
Okay, it wasn't this one. This one. It was this one. So we want this one? Yes! There's the switch. Awesome. Figured it out because I'm a genius. It might look like I'm not paying attention to the game, but I'm kind of paying attention to the game. A little bit. I don't know what this is going to achieve. You know, if there's one good thing about the underwater bits, we haven't had any random encounters while we were underwater. Like, point for Skies of Arcadia for not having random encounters while we're doing this. Because that would be infuriating. Oh, that reminds me, has anybody seen that Sega is going to be releasing Sonic 2? As part of the Sega Ages collection. And they announced it recently. I don't think it has a release date yet. But they're putting Sonic 2 out as part of the Sega Ages collection. And I'm looking forward to that. No. Well, you remember when I did Sonic 1 for the channel? That was the Sega Ages version of Sonic 1. The Sega Ages version of Sonic 2, not out yet, doesn't have a release date. What they've shown off looks good. M2 has a fantastic track record anyway. The first thing they basically announced with it is Yeah, Mega Drive Sonic 2. First thing they announced about it, pretty much, was... Well, after they announced it, was... It's gonna have Knuckles in Sonic 2. Which, you know, is a good opening statement. I should probably heal. But it'll be good to have a modern way of playing Sonic 2 that isn't one of the various collections that Sega has that are all basically crap. Like, the playthrough of Sonic 2 that we did for the channel had its problems, but the emulation on the Mega Drive collection was not good to begin with, which didn't help. Well, it's the interesting thing with the Sega Ages collection. They're taking the time with it. It's M2 doing the actual emulation. They're taking the time with it. Like, really high quality emulation. All of the games have had extra features outside of the original game. It's like I pointed out at one point that like during the playthrough of Sonic 1 when we did it for the Sega Ages collection, it has the spin dash and the drop dash that was introduced in Sonic Mania, which is a weird addition, but it's there.
Yeah.
And stuff like Phantasy Star has the map system that didn't exist in the original game, plus you can actually see all your characters' current status. And it's all good stuff, and I'm probably going to pick up Sonic 2 when it comes out on the Sega Ages collection. But like, they've been taking the time, they've been doing a bunch of stuff with it. They've done Sonic 1, Phantasy Star, Thunder Force 4, they put Virtual Racing out, which was interesting. One of the Puyo Puyo games. It's been an interesting collection. I look forward to seeing what else they do with the Sega Ages stuff, because it's not just Mega Drive stuff, it's Master System as well. And maybe they'll go on and do some Saturn stuff. Who knows? Because that could be interesting. I've considered the Mega Drive Mini a couple of times. It holds no value for me more than anything. I wouldn't really appreciate it in the context it's being put out at. Seriously, I have to raise it one more level. I can't just jump off it here. Knuckles Chaotix is a weird one. That, considering how they've re-released almost everything else in the Sonic series, the lack of a re-release for Knuckles Chaotix, for Sonic, for Sega Sonic the Hedgehog as well. I don't think they ever re-released Sonic Triple Trouble. They might have done, I forget. Sonic Pocket Adventure, they never re-released. It's kind of weird. I also feel like we're at the point where Sega could probably start re-releasing stuff like Sonic Heroes. Like, you've got the numerous re-releases of Adventure and Adventure 2. They could probably throw Heroes out again. But Sega's got a weird thing about the way they re-release a bunch of the stuff. Like how you can get House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return on the Wii. But on PS3 you can only get 3 and 4. You can't get House of the Dead 2 on PS3. It's like, why? I honestly don't care about 3 or 4. I want 2. I want to suffer like G did. It's been a while since I've seen these guys. Come on, don't get hit. Nice. There's also the thing with like the re-release Sega did of Space Channel 5 Part 2, but they've not re-released the original one for some reason. I didn't do enough damage.
Over there.
They finally announced that they're doing something with Panzer Dragoon. They're remaking the original Panzer Dragoon to sell it at a higher price than they could if it was just like a remaster, if they put it out on current gen systems. And it's like, you know, I've got a way to play Panzer Dragoon on a modern system, Sega. I have Panzer Dragoon Auto on Xbox One. It's an original Xbox game, the last in the Panzer Dragoon series, at the 4th game, and if you finish the game, you unlock the original game. Fully playable. Which I want to do at some point. Like, the one we want re-releasing is Saga. I feel like more of these game publishers and developers and these people need to look at what some of the most valuable games in their backlogs are, like their back catalogs are, and then make them easier to get.
Here goes.
It's like, you look at Suikoden 2, and Suikoden 2 is one of the priciest standard games on the PS1. Which means it has a high demand with a lack of supply. So Konami eventually re-released it on PSN. And people bought it. It's simple. You look at what people want, give them an easy way to buy it through you. Like, for the love of fucking god, Nintendo, re-release Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Also, you know, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance would be fine. Yeah, that's alright. It's like, it seems like such a simple idea, and these companies just don't get it. But then, you know, Nintendo has always been kind of stupid like that. Since Thousand Year Door. It's like, oh yeah, no. What do you like least about the Paper Mario series? Not fond of the RPG parts, people said. So they cut them all out for Super Paper Mario and it's a weaker game. And people, like, it didn't make... Oh god damn it, Zivelin Bane again. Like, it didn't get as high review scores as Thousand Year Door or the original did. And so Nintendo looks at it and they're like, why was this? It must be because of the story. It wasn't the RPG elements people didn't like, it was the story. So they released Sticker Star with an incredibly basic story and all the character we actually loved about Paper Mario removed. Good work, Nintendo. And then Sticker Star is easily the most hated in the series. People start looking positively on Super Paper Mario. You know, it had its problems, it wasn't as good as Thousand Year Door, but it had character and it was fun. And Nintendo looks at that and thinks, you know, maybe if we do it again, maybe if we do Sticker Star again, they'll love it this time. And then we get Color Splash. And it's like, seriously Nintendo, why do you keep dropping the ball like this? We're remaking a beloved Mario RPG for the 3DS, so you can experience the adventure. Re-experience it or experience it for the first time. Cool, you're doing Paper Mario 1000 Year Door for 3DS, we're doing Superstar Saga. Oh. I should probably be way more hesitant to actually open treasure chests in dungeons. Somebody need healing? I feel like somebody does. Right, it's Enrique.
Here goes.
And then probably Ica. You look at some of these old games and you're like, you just want ways to play them conveniently, easily, without having to go out and fork out a load of money to pick them up from some random guy.
Let's try this.
Or emulation. It's like, why did it take Nintendo so long to re-release Earthbound? I don't like Earthbound, but you know, plenty of people do. Plenty of people were clamoring for it. There's my sacrum. Oh. Well, it's a good thing we have the sacrum crystal then, that we're about to use. Okay, now use the sacrum crystal, Fina. There we go. This game is great, but there's a few little tweaks I really wish we could make. Like the turn order being displayed on the side like Final Fantasy X does.
Is it over already?
You know, part of the problem whenever we come across Zivelin Bane is that we know that when we win, we're not actually getting anything like a new weapon or something that we might want for the dungeon. We're getting something we can sell later. Yeah, I like that as a feature, telling you what it used to have. That's good. Alright, which way is the way out? That way. Is there another pathway down here? Oh, there's this. Cool. Yeah, I'm probably going to pick up the Sega Ages version of Sonic 2. M2 does good work. M2 developing it, and they do fantastic emulation work. They have done for years. Ooh, what's this one do? We've been in this dungeon for like 40 minutes. Right, the button we were actually after to raise the water level one more time. Then we can go in there, yay!
Here goes.
How is that boomerang aerodynamic? Okay, so we do this. And then this. See how this works. Cool. Cool, cool. Does anybody get any games they're looking forward to this year that aren't Resident Evil 3? Or Final Fantasy 7? That's the thing, Dying Light 2 was delayed, apparently indefinitely. It hasn't got a release date now. I'm like, were people actually looking forward to Dying Light 2? I feel like Dying Light 2 is a game that's been in the wind for so long that people shouldn't care about it anymore. But I might be getting it confused with Dead Island 2. Oh, Resistance is part of Resident Evil 3, Professor. I think we had this conversation at one point. I had this conversation with somebody. Oddworld Soulstorm's a good one. Trials of Mana, I want to do the original. But I feel like with Secret and Trials, they'll both be better if I have somebody to play them with. And these are solo streams. Nice. Doom Eternal's a fair point. I need to go back and finish New Doom. Really? Somebody's actually looking forward to the Remind DLC? That's interesting. Oh, we should do Adventures of Mana at some point this year. I didn't go this way. No, you've got a good point about Square. I think Square is kind of awkward as a company that at this point does re-release their old stuff for stupid prices. Like, Square demands... Like, Square wants you to pay for their old games prices that you'd expect for a high-quality indie game of today. Like, tell me, Square, why is Final Fantasy IX port more expensive than Axiom Verge? Also, if you haven't played Axiom Verge is really good. It's a really solid Metroid-like game. It's the most Metroid game I've played that isn't Metroid. Really good. You know, I feel like it's been a while since I complained that we didn't get Chrono Trigger until 2008. 2009? 2009, jeez. Hollow Knight's price jumped up, didn't it? Is it about the PC release, Professor, or the Switch release? I got it on both. I don't remember when I got it on PC. It was during that time when I was buying PC games because I was trying to play PC. I actually played it on Switch. PS4. Yeah, the Void Heart Edition did launch at a discount, didn't it? Like, you know, that's fair enough. It took long enough to come out on those systems. Well, we didn't get Final Fantasy 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6 until the re-releases on PlayStation. Hollow Knight's really good. I wouldn't mind playing that for stream at some point. That'd be a really nice palate cleanser for something like this. But it is kind of a long game in and of itself, longer than you'd expect. God, I really enjoyed Hollow Knight. It looks so good, and it's not as difficult as you think it would be. A lot of its difficulty comes down to later portions of the game. That three knights fight, three knights or the three kings. That was a fight. Oh, that was fantastic. It's good that it's available on all systems now. It's a game that's really easy to recommend. If you haven't already picked it up, Bloodstained Ritual of the Moon is also an easy game to recommend. Oh, what was your trick to beating them, Professor? My trick was just figuring out the patterns and trying not to let my hands slip all over the controller. Hollow Knight is a game that requires so much dexterity in your fingers, and I've never been good at that, but it's fantastic when I pull it off.
Yeah. Here goes.
Jump to the right wall. I don't think I did that.
Over there.
I memorized patterns and tells, that's how I did it. I did it old school. I did it Mega Man style. Figure out how, what they're gonna do and how to know they're gonna do it. And that was actually really satisfying. I should definitely do Hollow Knight for stream. I should do Bloodstained for stream as well at some point. Both of them deserve it.
That was fun.
Curse of the Moon was way better than it had any right to be. And what's this way? Another wall. See how this goes. No, Hollow Knight was... I thought I said damn for that for a minute then. The Hollow Knight was fantastic. There's some other games for Switch that I should get around to like that.
Take this.
I am quite looking forward to Silksong. I've not looked at any of the trailers for it or anything, but more Hollow Knight and getting to play as Hornet sounds really cool. Hornet was so cool. Why was Hollow Knight so good? Came into our lives and ruined everything else because everything else wasn't as good. There's Aika. Oh, she's over on the side. I'll be honest, I've only been half paying attention to these fights. Yep, Hornet. Really cool character.
We did it!
Oh, that's where we came out earlier. Alright, let's continue. Finally jump into the centre. We still have the issue though, I have no idea how to get to that platform to get the moonfish. That looks like it's probably an elevator actually. This is probably going to take us pretty far down. Yep. Well, nowhere else to go but forward. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Silksong. Especially with the way Hornet had a very different moveset. Oh yeah, the Ni no Kuni movie. Interesting. See you at the party, Richter! Interesting articles popped up recently about Studio Ghibli and Netflix. Netflix has received exclusive rights for Ghibli movies. Just not in America or Japan. Which is a weird way of saying, like, in Europe. And Australia, I guess. I mean, I'm not into Studio Ghibli, but if I was, you know, that's pretty cool. And for the people who are, you know, that's pretty cool.
How about you?
I'm sure Aika used to be the fast one. That's some pretty surprisingly good pathfinding for an RPG like this.
That was easy.
There, let me see. Well, these look interesting. They're enemies. Alright. They look familiar. I have a feeling they're going to be pretty tough as well. Mini boss. Wait a minute, is Silk Song due out this year? Oh. Yeah, attack, attack. Lunar Blessing, attack. I feel like Lunar Blessing is a great idea. I think it will be out this year. I feel like it should be. Lunar Blessing, I feel like, is an ability that starts off being really useful, but because the regeneration is stuck at 200 points per turn, it becomes less useful the further into the game we get. Oh, balls. Right. Cleansing, yes. And might as well do Royal Blade. And I'm guessing because he was petrified, he's lost regeneration. Counter attack, counter attack. Nice. And that should be that fight. Bada bing.
We are victorious.
I just wanted to examine them. Okay. Probably do with learning more some of the higher level green magic at this point. Yeah, I need to get around to finishing the new Doom. Like, the furthest I played it was during the Xbox Casual stream we did last year. I enjoyed it, I just never stuck with it. I should probably also sit down and actually finish Wolfenstein 2. I'm way less enthusiastic about that than I should be. I really enjoyed the New Order, and the new Colossus just doesn't appeal to me at all.
That was fun.
Yeah. So if we stand on there while we push this, it's going to take us up or down. There's a locked door? No, it's just a door. Well, that looks good. Yeah, we are actually fighting them. So blue is weak to both purple and green. I looked up a chart so I could know that I was doing the best option. For damage. Oh, nice work, Professor. Did you have to do it on the hardest difficulty for that? That looked like fart gas. Oh, that sounds rough. I always find the hardest difficulty in games like that tend to be they kill you very quickly with very little warning. Which just it tries my patience. Ugh. Right. The lunar cleansing. The standard attack that petrifies is nasty.
Here goes.
Yeah, no, congratulations, Professor. It was good work. Don't do it again, you bastard. Really? Really? Ah! You said you were doing it on the Nathan Drake collection. I want to get round to replaying them on the Nathan Drake collection. I heard they've rebalanced a lot of the game mechanics and everything. They're actually way more enjoyable now.
Here goes.
Like, good luck with that, though, Professor. I hope you enjoy it.
That wasn't so bad.
I remember Uncharted 2 was like one of the first games where I was like, seriously, shoot the main villain before they complete their evil plan and become way harder to kill. And the main character has no excuse for not doing it. Nathan Drake's stupid. Okay, here we go again. Don't. Nice. I should take one out in the first turn. Great. I need to look into my inventory and see if I've got something that prevents petrification, because this is a joke.
Move.
Why? Why must you do this to me, game?
Here goes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any game I'm looking at platinum doing platinum anytime soon. But then there's very few games I actually set out to do platinum for. Final Fantasy VII was like one of the only ones I intended to get platinum from the start.
We did it!
Yeah, it's 2 rows of golems. Now there's only 2 more. You forget just how stingy these old games used to be with save points.
Over there! Here goes!
I can believe that. Final Fantasy VIII would likely require getting all the GFs. Which in itself is a really irritating thing to do. God, you know... Triple Triad. It probably has a trophy for getting all the cards in Triple Triad. Which... Ugh. 9 probably has a similar thing with Tetramaster. I should look into that, actually. I can believe that. I considered platinuming Dark Souls, the first one. But... what was it? The refining of every kind of item, every type of weapon to its max lineup.
Here goes!
The jump rope. Huh.
That wasn't so bad.
Nah, I just haven't bothered with Tetramaster in years. I couldn't play Tetramaster. I'd have to relearn it. Yeah, stuff like that. Like the, like the complaints I've had with the Thunder Plains in 10 over the years.
Here goes!
But I can't do stuff like that perfectly for an extended period of time. I mess up. So, say you do it perfectly then, Clem. How long does that take? Well, Thunder Plains is more a problem with me than anything else. Like, Bane keeps insisting Thunder Plains ain't that bad, but I can't stand it. Yeah, the lightning bolts. Oh no, the jump rope. Like, if you do it perfectly, how long does it take? God damn it.
Here goes!
Try not to keep track. See, I can't do that for such an extended period. Level 3 spell. Restores 1,000 to the entire party. awesome. I'm probably gonna aim to never use that in battle since it takes 8 SP, but out of battle healing will be so much more convenient with that. Bam, and we're all good with 1 MP. Yeah, I'm gonna do Final Fantasy 9 eventually. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do 10 eventually. Not gonna do the Thunder Plains. I'm probably not gonna do any of the Celestial weapons. There's a save point here. We've missed something. I thought this would be a short diversion before we go back to that switch. Oh. You know, there are some days I'm glad I'm not a perfectionist. Oh, we're going down. 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 Excalibur 2 is kind of interesting for us because it was impossible to get in the original European release. There we go. Yeah. Because the way that how TVs ran, it was at 50 Hz, so we had a slower refresh rate. Ugh. That makes me think of how irritating it is in Dark Souls trying to get the get to Warrior of Sunlight +1 so that you can get the second tier of I think it's the light. You get the second tier of one of the miracles. But to do that it means you have to get 10 sunlight medals, which means like the 10 sunlight medals. Which, you know, you have to then do the thingy. Co-op boss defeats. You get a sunlight medal per boss defeat in co-op. Which means it's completely luck-based. You have to set your summon sign down, hope somebody summons you. But no, Excalibur 2 was impossible for us. You had to get to the certain point within 12 hours. In Europe, because of the different refresh rates, games for us run slower, or did back when we still had the 50 Hz thing. I think it's like 17% slower. The problem with Excalibur 2 is the game, Final Fantasy 9 ran slower for us, but the clock didn't. Unless you're fighting Discord. Let's Needles grind, Clem. It's kind of thing I was like, I'll stop going for a platinum when it's not fun anymore. And that's not fun. Rain of Swords. Yeah, the game was slowed down because of the refresh rate thing, but the clock wasn't. So it was actually impossible to get to the point with Excalibur 2 in time in the European version because it ran slower. Yeah.
We won! We won!
I mean, if you want to do it in this day and age, you could do it with the PS4 port or the HD port, HD in quotes. But my recommendation is grab a US copy. Do it off PSN or like some other way. Just grab a US copy and do it on that. Oh, there's a door there. Yeah. There comes a point where you have to like just convince yourself why it's futile. And like I say, it makes me glad I'm not a perfectionist. It's like, look at the streams we've got. I'm not doing this game perfectly. I'm more experienced with Final Fantasy VIII, which we're currently doing on and off. I'm not doing that perfectly, and I have no interest. We're going to be missing GFs. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like not being a perfectionist and not holding myself to such a standard is liberating. Because I tried it once. I tried holding myself to that kind of standard, and I lost so much interest. That's fair enough. When I was getting the Date with Barrett trophy in the PS4 version, my first run, where I was grabbing all trophies, I did the sequence wrong. So I restarted the game, played it on fast forward, and like for the entire time doing the right sequence to get to it, and it took like 3 hours to get that far with fast forward on.
That was easy.
Because the game timer doesn't actually go faster if you have the fast forward on. It's kind of weird. Oh, I'm not going to say that's cheating, Clem. Fuck 'em. It's awful. The Date with Barrett is funny. I don't think it's worth the trouble it takes to get it. There was a YouTube channel I used to watch years ago that made Final Fantasy VII parodies of different people going on the gondola ride with Cloud. Like Sephiroth would go on there with him, and it was funny stuff. I wasn't just replacing the model or anything. Actually editing all the text boxes and creating unique conversations. It was funny stuff. Yeah, that's fair enough, Clem. Take care. Good luck with your trivia, buddy. Thanks for hanging out.
Over there.
God, I don't want to go on a date with Yuffie. I'm going on a date with Sid. I want him to tell me, drink my damn tea. Take care, Clem. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. Good luck with your trivia.
Over there.
Cloud kissing the dragon in the theatre is actually great. And you don't get that if you go on the date with Barrett. Like, you get in there and they're like, You're our 100th couple. Oh, wait, no, I guess you're not. And then you don't get to do the play. I was like, you know what? No, I want to do the play. I want to kiss the dragon.
Fire consume my...
Like, kissing the dragon and declaring your love for the king are like the best parts. Because they both just leave Aerith behind looking really confused, and I find that hilarious.
Yeah!
Oh sweet, we learned the multiple power-up spell. Incremus. Attack and defense for the entire party. 16 SP, damn. Is this going to be worth it? Like, this is going quite far out of my way. Oh, Clem. Silly bugger. Where am I? This is the entrance to the boss room. If this is all we get, this wasn't worth it. Is the whole point of that to skip the fight with the golems? That's not worth it. Ugh. Alright, save point, different music. This is going to be a boss. Actually, let me heal up before we save. And since you learned Sacrum, easy heal for 1 MP. Wonderful. Alright, that is actually going to be the end of our stream tonight. We've gone over time again because we always do. Guys of Arcadia is an old game with old save point systems. We're never going to hit a clean 3-hour mark on these streams. I'm okay with that though, that's fine. Let's get a look at what we have for next time. Oh, that's neat. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Dreamcast had good graphics. It's not even a joke, this area looks quite nice, I like it. But yeah, no, that's going to do it for tonight's stream. I want to thank everybody who joined the stream, I always appreciate the support. Thanks so much for watching. Big special thanks to Bane, Clem and Professor in the chat for keeping company, I always appreciate that, it's what keeps the stream going. Otherwise, I might as well just be sat here in silence. Talk at myself. There's no real difference to the LPs at that point. We're here for the chat, we're here for the interaction, it's the fun part. And we're back Thursday, 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time, with more Skies of Arcadia as we go to get the Blue Moon Crystal. Which should be right in there, hopefully. There's going to be a boss. I feel there's going to be a boss. We're definitely calling an end to the stream here, much as I would like to continue. Because I feel like if we go forward now, it's going to be a while. But like, the boss could take a while, because Skies of Arcadia has bosses that can take a while. And then I feel like it's going to be a while before we can save after that. I feel like story's going to happen. Yeah. More quotes for the next stream. You've not been taking any of the quotes that I've been saying, Bane. That was the purpose. Write down the funny things I say. Yeah, once again, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate the support. Big special thanks once again to Bane, Klim, Professor in the chat. Keep me company. Next stream, 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time, Thursday, more Skies of Arcadia Legends. I'm gonna do this. You know, I'm pretty sure we went over that on Thursday, Bane. And that's why it has the whole system of telling you when a quote is from. Like this one. We'll put that out? No, we can't, alright. This one. Not that one. Now let me get a number. There we go, 7. That's not helpful. Do you actually remember what the nebulous quote was? I said nebulous in it, but I don't remember what the quote was. It has a cooldown, of course. Forget it. But yeah, no, that's it for tonight's stream. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. You're gonna go back and watch it, add it to the thing. If you post it in the chat while the bot is turned on, it should automatically add it. As long as the bot is active, it'll record everything that appears in the chat. It's just that I usually turn it off after the stream, because what's the point of having it after that? But no, we'll leave it for tonight. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's find something to end on. Let me try adding quotes while the stream isn't on. Like I say, it only adds them while the bot is on, and I turn the bot off after the stream. Update back, I don't know what a bunch of this does. I'll look into the, every now and then I'll look into what the bot can do a little more, and we see what we can do. interesting stuff. There's a lot to the bot that I don't really do much with. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'll see you next time. What's the normal thing? Yeah, I was thinking about that. There is an extra quotes section that I could look into. Move the movie quotes in there. And have like a separate one for standard quotes from me. We'll see. Something I'll look into for the next stream, maybe, if I remember. I'll probably remember next time. The trick is I need to remember it before the next stream so I can look into how to do it. But I'll probably remember next time during the stream. And I think I should look into that again. And then I should look into it. We'll get it eventually. I'll remember at some point, like an hour before the stream, and I'll look into it and get it sorted. Anyway, standard send off. Thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day. Take care, and I'll catch you next time. Doodles.